So going back there, yeah, you mentioned some of your friends were in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your kind of like friendship circle back then? Because obviously you're going into a school,
Yeah.
and this is all new to you.
Yeah.
So did you find that you kind of gravitated towards people you shouldn't have, or?
You know what? My friend circle is half and half.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the proper, like, screwed on, level headed, full on corporate. Then you've just got the.
Down for anything.
You would never see them man on my YouTube, put it this way. You would never see them on my Instagram either. They're never in pictures of me. Like, you would never expect them to be my brethren. But I've always got love for them. They're just loose cannons. So that's how my friend circle's split in half and half.
Like, for me, I feel like our circle, I say we become a reflection of our circle. Sometimes we're a reflection of our environment. Growing up, was there people along your journey you've had to distance yourself from because of what they were on? And if so, because I know there's younger people probably going through certain things, like, how did you go about that?
You know what it is here? A lot of people don't understand, like, especially younger kids, they all think, oh yeah, the friends I'm with right now are going to be the people I'm going to be with forever, all the time. Some people are going to fall off. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of my inner circle are my day one friends from when I moved here. Example, like, my landlord was my first ever friend when I moved here. Like, literally, I met him 2 days after. He was in the park. They were throwing paper planes. And I was like, right, let me join in. And we become friends from paper airplanes till today. You know what I mean? Then my neighbor who lives upstairs, Scar, he was like in my class. And we were rolling together at school, like, literally, like, this is like a week after coming here. And we're still, you know what I mean? I'm there always pushing his cleaning business. He's like, he's gonna be one of my clients, like, from next week. So it's still kind of some of the same people around me, but there's one or two people that just kind of just drifted off, and it's their fault. You know what I mean? Like, if we're all brethren, you can't be. Now you've decided to become full-time bad man. You can't be trying to rob your own brethren. Like, once you cross that line, there's no. You've put yourself away from everyone else, because now if I've seen you try and do it to the man out of, like in every friendship circle, you've got people you're closer to.
Yeah.
You've done it to the man you're closest to. You can't even know where I live. Yeah. Like, we're cool from afar. Yeah, but I would never tell you where I live, because instantly I already know that, right, I have to always watch you 24/7. You know what I mean? And I've got a few friends like that who we were close, very close when we were younger, but now but I know where they live. But they don't know that. Just in case. You know what I mean?
Like, power circles, yeah? So that you've got, like you said, you've got certain men that are like proper screwed on. Like, how important is it for your circle to be diverse? Like, or for there to be people in your circle that are, I'm assuming, elevating you?
Yeah.
How important is that?
It grows you. Like, being someone who's very competitive, you don't want to be the last. You get what I'm saying? So when you see your brethren doing well, you're happy for your brethren, but that gives you that inner fire. It comes back to what we was talking about earlier, where you've asked, would I date a woman who's making more than me? I said, yeah, because I know that's going to trigger me to want to work harder, to, you know what I mean, pull myself up to go to her level and go past her, to be the one who's, you know what I mean, giving her everything she wants and more. So I know that's going to inspire me. For some man, it's going to trigger them. But for me, I'm going to be inspired by, my girl's doing this, that's great. So I get inspired a lot of times by my brethren. You know what I mean? So they kind of make me think, I could do a lot better than I'm doing. Like, I should level it up. You know what I mean? Like, I've got brethren who, this weekend, I was with one of my brethren who, he was in the NBA. So I was with him Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we just out and about. And he's kind of someone who kind of changed my mind a lot on certain things, where before, like, 2019, if I start my day, I might train a client, train another client, jump in my car, bang out Uber. If I ended up in West End and it's like 6 p.m, I might be like, I'm going out this weekend. Let me drive it to Selfridges, a couple of new top, 3 bills. I made that back. So I didn't really care. And I remember like before my mom passing, she was like, your new car is nice. You spent money. That watch that you bought, I heard your cousins told me. I was like, what do you mean about what watch? Like, I ain't told you about no watch, no nothing. So, your cousins told me, blah, 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 this, that. This is the same one your uncle got, but your one is just slightly more expensive. I was like, oh, God. My mom was like, when are you going to save for your house? Funny enough, I did. But I could have probably had a bigger deposit at that time. Then obviously COVID and everything happened and blew through all of that. But if I didn't, right before COVID, if I didn't go to Miami and was around my brethren, my mind wouldn't have changed to, why am I always spending? Whereas this is your richest brethren. Like, give you an example. We was in Burner's party and he was the second richest person in the room. The richest person was Diddy. You get what I'm saying? But you never know this just because the way he moves. So I remember saying like to my other boys when I came back, I said, I'm not buying 3 bill shirts no more and all of that. Yeah. It don't mean nothing to me. And they were like, what happened to you? I was like, mate, I went Miami. I'm rolling with man them who've got like 100 M plus and none of them wearing designer. Like literally I'm thinking, why am I the one who looks like the superstar? I look like when we're getting out, I look like I was about to drop a mixtape. You know what I mean? Like I was gonna be like part of 3 bands and Joy Future. All I needed was a chain with an owl. That's all I needed. But these men have got dumb money and
they say that certain men wear their wealth. Like you see what they've got on them.
Bro, the other day was out, he was wearing white Reebok Classics. I was looking at him thinking, where the hell did you find Reebok Classics from? You get what I'm saying? He was wearing white Reebok Classics in the club. But literally being around him just made me realize, I was just like, what am I doing this? Am I doing this to stunt on other men? Am I doing this to try and impress women? Because I was like, if it's to impress women, even when I only had like 1 pair of trainers, I was still getting gal. So what am I doing? So that kind of made me kind of reset. Then it changed my mind. So like now I could get to where I need to get to one day and I don't think I'm gonna really change much. I think the only reason why I might go back to maybe buying, because I'll be like, now I could actually do it properly and do it how I want. You know what I mean? I'm Nigerian, flamboyant. Let's not skip that part.
You know how we are.
It's in our culture.
Trust me.
Yeah. But for now, I'm just like, why do you around them, man? Just tone it down. Like, them men are showing you that they've got beyond. Like, even my brother only got a Sprinter van and a Jeep Cherokee. And I'm thinking, you've got mad money and you're in a Sprinter van. All your brethren are in Lambos and Rolls and all of that, but you just, so like when you're around that, it humbles you, man. It proper humbles you because you realize that these men are thinking beyond themselves. They're thinking generations after them.
So would you say it's priorities? Their priorities are different to certain men that are wearing like jewelry and them things there. Like.
You know what? If you're a rapper, it's part of your branding. I get. It's part of the branding. It's what sells. But sometimes I feel like man them stunt to try and stunt on other guys.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like a lot of men like dress and wear certain things just to impress men?
More time. Because a lot of times, a lot of brands that we wear, a lot of women sometimes don't even know them. Yeah. It's only if it's someone who's fully into fashion and lifestyle. But a lot of women, more time, don't really care. They just like, as long as you dress nice, they're not too bothered. You know what I mean? If your clothes fit properly, that's all that matters to them. But the man them always think that, because I'm wearing Dior. Nah, it's the man them that I like. Yeah, that's hard.
No,
you know what I mean?
You know what I've always said? Like, if you've got a certain build, a plain white tee that fits right can do the part. Like, you don't need a name brand on it, just a simple plain or black tee because your build's on point. But certain man, I feel, might have insecurities where they need to cover those insecurities
Yeah.
with brands and
Bro, I'll give you an example. Like tops I used to buy, 3 bills, 4 bills. You know what I mean? Like now I run to Zara and I'm just like boom, 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 £20, £20, £20.
yeah.
And a lot of times I'm like, right, I'm not even repeating outfits that much, but it's £20, £20, £20, £20, £20. And you're just realizing that you've got more.
I can't like, that's my tech as well.
Yeah.
That's how I switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up. £20, £20, £20.
Because it's easier to switch it up when you're paying for those price points.
When
you're
wear
paying
that
more,
3 bills top, you have to wear that. You have to get
the money's worth.
The problem is you can't take pictures because once you take one picture, you're done. You know what I used to do with designer tops here? If I took a picture here, I just used to save that top for holiday. I just fold it and just be like, yeah, that's the suitcase top. And when I'm on holiday and we're in the club and a man's about to, what? No, I have to be on the gram a couple times. I can't wear that again. Just quick.
Man's aware of the outfit.
Yeah, doc. Yeah, trust me.
It
You know
gets
what's
like
mad?
that.
Like, my son's 14, yeah? Well, he's 15 on Sunday. And he's got to that age now
Discovering drip.
where he wants like a £300 this and whatever. And I've said to him, look, if I'm going to give you £300, yeah, you've got to make that work. Because what you can't do is buy one tracksuit with that and then say, Dad, I've got nothing to wear when I go out. I said, you got two types of man. You got one man that will spend that £300 on one thing.
Yeah.
And you got another man that will be able to take that £300 and look fresh with so many.
Bro,
outfits.
give women £300. They're getting on flipping Pretty Little Thing and ASOS and all these sites, and they will come out with like 25 outfits.
Yeah. And the man's just got that one tracksuit that you can't wear again.
You get me? Every picture on Instagram.
Same tracksuit.
Bare angles. Wait. I've shown the front. Let me stand sideways.
Zip open.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But that's how man them are. The man them are trying to oppress other man them and show that they've got everything. But I'm telling you, like,
That's pretty sad though.
But after that trip, came back and I was just like,
Mindset changed.
yeah. I'll give you one thing though. I realized even out there, you might see all the man them. They might keep the plain white tee, plain black.
Yeah.
But when it comes to jewelry, that's their thing.
Them accessories.
America, that's their thing. The accessories. Yeah. You in the club, yeah. The club will be dark. Everyone's in black tee, but you see, like when they're smiling, ching, ching, ching. Watch, chain, teeth, everything just gleaming, like looking like a disco.
Bro, if we go back, yeah, like you're obviously a man in shape, yeah. I can give you that, like man in shape, and I can see you're passionate about that, and that's your living. Where did that come from? Like, because you said that school time was quite strict, education. You haven't mentioned that sport in school or anything like that.
So when I was little, my mum used to work in the National Institute of Sport in Nigeria, and so my first sports were like tennis and basketball, and football, and my first ever basketball was given to me by Akeem Olajuwon. He gave me 2 basketballs as a kid.
That's big.
Then Okocha and Kanu when I was like, what year was it? 94?
Legends, you know?
I met them man in 94, like before the under 17s. So my mum used to handle visas and all that. And Kanu gave my mum a football for me as well back then. So like I grew up around athletes from young. So all the time they're going on like international trips and that. My mum would always be the one sorting out the visas and all of that. So fast forward, I moved here and tried to play sports. My mum was like, not until you're 16, finish your GCSEs.
Serious?
So during school, I wasn't allowed to join the football team, basketball, nothing. I wasn't allowed to join any after school activities. And the funny thing is, back then, I was better at football and tennis than basketball. But when I finished school, I stuck with basketball. Because the reason why was because a lot of my brethren were already getting signed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you see your brethren like, rah, I'm signed to this team.
Yeah.
I'm signed to Charlton. Like one of my brethren in college, Albert Jarrett, he was at Wimbledon first year, and then second year was at Charlton. Then I remember like we had to come college every day. He only had to come 3 days if he wanted. You know what I'm saying? So you're seeing this. So my aunt's like, oh, why don't you want to play football? No, I was like, the key years I missed. You know what I mean? I was like, the key years I've missed, like when I've come out here, my mum, I remember asking me like, do you still play football? I was like, no. Do you still watch football? I was like, no. So till today, because of that, I don't watch football. Yeah.
Understandable. A lot of Nigerian parents made that mistake.
Yeah. Like my favorite football players back then was Cantona and Shearer. So I would either be a Man U or Newcastle fan. Yeah. But literally just because of not being allowed to play, I had to switch off, because what would happen is we'll come back from food shopping and you have two options. Go out and play or try and watch TV. But the problem is if I try to watch football now, my aunt wanted to watch Sunset Beach. So you're not gonna win. So because of that, I just switched off of football because I knew I would not be able to keep up. I remember we're not in the era of we had phones or it was just literally the next day I would just open the paper.
And so
I was like, why am I supporting when I can't even keep up? So I just switched off on football.
what was your, as a kid, was you like a skinny child, chubby child? Like Skinny?
Yeah.
So like what made you, when did like the passion for gym kick in?
Dragon Ball Z, man.
Serious?
Yeah.
A lot of men say that, you know.
I saw Goku and Vegeta and I said, I want to look like these two bastards. You get me? Then I ended up looking like them and I was like, yeah, now time to power up.
So when do you remember like first going? I think I went into a gym at like 15.
Yeah.
Had no app, bro. Like I wasn't using free weights.
Yeah.
I was on chest press, like not even the bar, just the machine. And it was like every time I went in, it was just chest. I had no idea what I was doing.
My school had a little, like going into the sports hall, they had a little section which was a gym, like the size of this room. And they had like a pec deck, a leg press and dip and pull-up bar. And I remember like it was there, but we were always told not to touch it. So when we're running through to go to the basketball court, I just literally just quickly try and do a few leg press, do a few pec deck, and you know what I mean, all the time you're told not to touch something, but because you're told not to, that's why you have to. So I remember like all the time I would always do this.
So who was it there for? If you weren't allowed to touch it? Schools make dumb rules like
dumb
that.
rules.
Yeah, dumb rules.
So I remember like the deputy head one day, he was up there and then he was trying to teach how to do dips, and every time I dipped down, it felt like it was just cutting through my chest. Like, you know, like when you're bony and like it just felt like I was like, like this hurts, like my chest is breaking. So I remember when I got to like 13, I bought the York set, dumbbells, barbell, and a bench. Bro, that was painful carrying that because we went to Argos Wolf Road because that was the only one that had the set at the time. So we threw that on the 35 bus. Caught the bus to Campbell, switched to the 345. The 345 stopped on Stockwell Road. I had to carry it down one long road to our road. Me and my cousin just jogging this weights, jumping on the floor. We're like, we must make it home. You know what I mean? Then we went and bought a bench. Then we put in our room. So imagine at this time, we've got a bunk bed in our room. We've got a little single bed because my cousin had moved. So my older cousin, he was born here. He got moved to Nigeria when he was little because he was bad. Like he was bad breed as a kid. Yeah. So he got moved to Nigeria when he was 5 and came back in his, what was it? Early 20s now? Yeah, he must have been in his early 20s then. So he'd come back here. So now we're free in a room with a bench and dumbbells and barbell. Tight. The room was tight. But we was just in there like literally. So this is another reason why I probably didn't do as good as I could have done, even though I got good grades. Like my grades were decent, but instead of studying, I was banging weights. Yeah, I was just there, just in my room, just benching.
What age is this?
That's like 13.
13?
Wow.
Yeah, because that's all I could do. There was nothing else to do. We weren't allowed TVs in the room. Yeah, and even every year, this is another thing. Every year we would get bought either a PlayStation or 64, or I remember we got bought a PlayStation, N64, Dreamcast. Yeah. We got bought a Mega Drive. We would always get consoles, but we won't have time to play them. So anytime my little cousins would come from Nigeria, my other little cousins, we just give them away. Because me and my cousin was like, we ain't got TV. And the one TV's in the front room. And my aunt always wanted to watch Sunset Beach or Coronation Street or East End as well.
So it weren't getting used.
Them programs scarred my life for Emmerdale and all. You know what I mean? Like literally there was a pattern. She would start and just go one after the other, and neighbors and all them. It's too much. So anyway, we didn't get to really use them apart from when we opened them on Christmas Day. So we just always give them away. So having our weights in our room was just our thing. We'd just be weights in the room. We had a pull-up bar on the door to be doing pull-ups and doing weights.
I never trusted the pull-up bar on the door, you know.
No, I was firm still.
I always just had this fear of
No,
like,
it's
you know
firm
what,
still.
I'm just going to fall down.
It could hold up to probably like 100K confidently.
Serious?
Yeah. Because even now, when I go to my old house and my cousin puts it up, I'll go there and do a few chin-ups quickly, just for old time's sake.
No, it was a mental thing for me. So where did like personal training come into it?
Basically, my ex-girlfriend, I used to always go gym with her, and anytime I go gym, the trainers in the gym will ask me questions on how do you do this or how do you do that, and she was like, these lot are always asking you, and they've been PTs for years. She's like, why don't you become a PT? Because she's like, you don't like working nights anyway. At the time I was working security, so she's like, if you do PT and do security at first, you double up.
Oh yes, sir.
So that's how I got into it.
What age was that?
This is 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
And so obviously by that point, if trainers are asking you for advice, you've already got your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from 13,
yeah,
was that just consistent weights?
No, so 13 to 16, consistent. Then at 16, I started playing for Brixton Top Cats. So when I started playing for Brixton, my coach won't let me lift during the season. So imagine off season, wow. September will come. By the time Christmas comes, by the time April comes, Marga, back to slim. Wow. Then May will come, back lifting. September comes, stop again. So that was pattern for years. Yeah, yo-yo. Then after that, when I stopped playing basketball, it's about 2008. I started going to run track and picked up rugby as well. Same thing again. I would lift during the off season. During the season, I didn't have enough energy because track was intense, and all the lifting we do was more like Olympic style, where we do like cleans and stuff like that. So track was so intense. Then rugby was hell as well. So you just didn't have no time to really focus on the gym. So by the time season finish, by the time 7 seasons come, I'm skinny again. Then in 2012, had an injury.